What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. Among the new items approaching on the PBE, there's also loads of changes that are going to happen to items that already exist. I'm really liking the direction that Riot is taking with items, as overall Season 6 is looking to have loads of item diversity. Although most of the changes to existing items are fairly minor, these 5 items are showing significant improvements and are likely to have a huge impact on the game. As we count down the list, we'll be measuring the items by how good they are in their new form and how likely they are to have an impact. Let's get started. Number 5 is Runeins Hurricane. This item has been changed to become an option to compete with Phantom Dancer and Static Shiv, and now gives critical strike chance and movement speed. The stats are much better, and spending such a large amount of gold for just one type of stat on an AD carry typically isn't that strong, since all of the stats do scale off of each other, so you want to build a bit of everything for your high damage AD carry build, and Runeins is going to fit build paths much better with the new stats lineup. The passive can now also crit, but only hits for 25% of your AD instead of 50% of your AD, so it's a little bit of a nerf to the passive unless you have a high crit chance Infinity Edge build, which actually isn't impossible with a Zeke's. And you're also getting 5 more on hit damage now, so overall with the new stats lineup, the item is going to be much more relevant since it just fits build paths a lot better. Number 4 is Vampiric Scepter. Although this item has only received what seems to be a minor change, it's actually a really good item now and plays a very interesting role for the game. Vampiric Scepter has always been the item that defines the worth of lifesteal in the game, being the cheapest lifesteal item with measurable stats. And this new update to Vampiric Scepter, making the stats much better and much more efficient, is lowering the value of 1 point of lifesteal from 55 gold to 37.5 gold, effectively devaluing the lifesteal stat across the board. Lifesteal was typically the most difficult stat for AD champions to itemize for in the game, but with this Vampiric Scepter update, the value of lifesteal is being reduced by around 30%, meaning that along with some of the new items, lifesteal has now become much more realistic to fit into item builds. And although it seems like a minor change to a minor item, it's actually going to have a massive impact, as it's more of a change to the stat of lifesteal itself rather than to Vampiric Scepter. Number 3 is Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Now that the item reduces the cooldowns of summoner spells by 10% as well, and the price reduction, these boots are looking to be a seriously strong item. The summoner spell cooldown reduction stacks with the CDR from your masteries, and it does a great job of giving you that much needed CDR on a lot of champions. 10% cooldown reduction on summoners is such a valuable stat. I mean, it ends up being 30 seconds off of your flash. That's crazy, and for only 800 gold, it's a really impactful item to your gameplay, and is going to be a great pickup on a lot of champions who want to abuse their summoner spells as much as possible. Number 2 is Essence Reaver. With a complete overhaul, this guy has become what is essentially the cooldown reduction item for AD carries now, giving up to potentially 30% CDR on a single item, which is honestly really crazy. AD carries have been starved of cooldown reduction items in the past, but the stat has become readily available to them with the new Essence Reaver. Before, cooldown reduction was basically impossible to buy at all on AD carries, except for maybe a Brutalizer, but now you have the option, and that goes a long way and really improves item diversity for AD carries, as well as any other AD champions who might just want to pick up the item. And number 1 is Phantom Dancer. This item change single-handedly is a massive buff to AD carries in both 1v1 situations and in teamfights. The damage reduction passive is insane and is going to make AD carries much harder to kill in fights, and gives them a surprisingly high amount of survivability. As well, the movement speed isn't to be underestimated, and it's possible that we'll see Phantom Dancer pop up in builds other than just AD carries. The damage reduction gives you so much more potential, and overall is really strong and really impactful, making it the best old item that has been now improved for Season 6.